Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. And I want to showcase Portland being on fire, because fire is cool. And if you don't like fire, chances are you're a fucking loser. I'm sorry. I know, you get upset. But one thing I want to talk about in this video specifically is that vandalism is not and never will be violence when it is used against the state. I understand these are words that may be difficult for certain people to understand, but setting a courthouse on fire didn't really happen, but close enough. The symbolism was there. Is cool. It's good. It gets the message across. That's why it's important. So, I'm not advocating for you to go throw Molotovs into fucking random buildings willy-nilly. But when you direct vandalism at the state, it has the effect of making the state scared. That is why they sent the Gestapo in, because they're scared. That is the thing that you need to understand. So there's a few different angles of this fire. It raged on pretty heavily for, from what I understand, maybe a couple minutes, maybe a half an hour, and then it was put out. But again, fire is cool. I don't see what all these people out there just don't like fire for. But yeah, as you can see, the feds came out and quickly got rid of the fire and just started shooting at everyone. One thing I want to say is I really do like the American flag waving. It is, as much as I hate the American flag, I think it's just cool to have the American flag be used as a symbol against America, because America is no longer a constitutional republic. We have gotten into full fascism. This is a fascist government, okay? And so I'm going to talk a little bit more specifically about more specific events that happened in Portland, but again, I want to talk more about property damage. A lot of people out there seem to have this bizarre fascination with the idea that property damage is as bad, if not worse, than killing innocent civilians. A lot of people will say, oh, what happened to Mr. Floyd was so unjust, but why did you break that window? If you have shed more tears over windows, and if you have shed more tears over graffiti, than all of the innocent people that have been murdered by police over the last, since the fucking police departments were invented, right? Then you're an idiot. You're a useful idiot, no less. You are doing exactly what Trump wants. And I know there's a lot of liberals out there, and some of them watch my video, so I'm talking to the liberals right now. If you are actually anti-Trump, then you have to be anti-America. If you are actually against what Trump stands for, you have to be against what Biden stands for. You have to be against what this system is built upon, and there is no middle ground. Like I said before, I want Biden to be inaugurated from a bunker. That would be the greatest thing possible in this unrest, and that is not the end goal. That is chapter 1 of this uprising, maybe chapter 2, I suppose. That is the season 1 finale, right? This is a long project. And I also want to talk to a little bit of the communist people that aren't anarchists that follow me. I know that there are a couple of those out there as well. I see a lot of communists, communists, MLs, and all the forth, and all that and so forth, talking about how property damage is lame, it's distracting, protests are a waste of time, right? And I find that to be bizarre, right? There's all these same people that have been telling us, oh, you're not radical enough, you need to read more books. They're not going to do jack shit. Reading books doesn't do anything. People on the ground, whether or not they're anarchists or just regular people that don't even really have a cohesive political ideology, they do not need theory to base their opinions off of. I understand you mean well if you're a college white kid, Marxist, communist, Leninist, whatever the fuck, right? You mean well, and I understand that. But people like us, We have lived experience to go through. We do not need to sit down and waste years of our lives reading books, because our childhoods, our upbringing, our families, that was the books. We don't need theory because we have real life. And that is something I just wanted to talk about. So again, I just love the fire. I think it looks beautiful. I think it's a great symbolic gesture of the fact that this is a failed state. Again, the government could, in an instant, shut down these protests if they gave everyone stimulus packages, had a moratorium on evictions, had a moratorium on rent payments, gave free pharmaceutical delivery, had a proper lockdown. That could have actually stopped the protests. And in fact, I think it would stop the protests. I know there's a lot of people like me that think there is no such thing as enough and would keep pushing no matter what. But that is not a majority or a plurality. Right now, we have a plurality of support from people that obviously aren't anarchists all the way. So it's like, if all of those people had all of their demands met, chances are they would stop protesting. And that's the thing about this, is again, they could stop the protests with a snap of a finger, but they're not doing that. And for that reason, you have to understand that this is a failed state. There was a recent Sanders amendment to cut down 10% of the Pentagon budget and reroute it to things like social workers and so forth. Kamala Harris, who is a liberal hero, voted against it. It was going to fail anyway, and she voted against it. Her vote was meaningless. Her vote was just a symbolic gesture to her donors. And she voted against it anyway, because they don't give a fuck about you. They will never give a fuck about you. This is a failed state. We need to dismantle this state, and we need to help our fellow citizens. And I also love fire. Thank you for watching.